So, the number one question everyone always has when getting a WX is it worth it to STI swap it? In today's video, we're gonna be talking about just that. So I think the first thing I want to talk about is obviously the driving. I've only driven the car for about 100 miles, so I think I'll make another video maybe in the future when I like get a real good feel of it. The clutch is fully broken. I can really like start doing some pulls with it. But kind of my initial reactions or my first thoughts on driving is you're definitely shifting a lot more for the STI. The gearing in it is definitely a lot shorter. So normally cruising through town, I'm in third in the WX. And the STI, I see myself in fourth, like a lot. So like you can see how short this is. I already gotta go second, third. So normally I would stay here in third and the RPMs would be a lot lower, but now I kind of just cruise in fourth. So that's definitely the difference through like town. The freeway, I've actually only gone on the freeway one time, and I definitely go into 6th gear 100%. So that's kind of the difference I'm feeling so far. It is a bit beefy. Anyway, what's going on? Do you see it? No, you're seeing it, right? Is that blueberry poo?
You did a pull and shit shot out.
I don't get it. I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
All right, wait, what are we talking about?
STI 6-speed.
Is it worth it? You know, it's fucking.
That's it.
That's the question of the day.
It's expensive.
No. Let's talk about it. So, like, from a financial standpoint, buy an STI. I'm gonna be 100% honest, right? I'll be honest.
Yeah.
So that's what like a lot of people were commenting on like Instagram, YouTube, yada yada yada. Like, isn't it cheaper to just buy an STI compared to swapping to STI stuff? The way I did it, absolutely, it's cheaper to buy an STI, and I've told many of you guys that in my replies to you. So from a financial standpoint, absolutely, but definitely being in like my position where I make videos to do it and show you guys how to do it and learn in the process, I think it was worth it for me. The process was really, really hard. There was times when I just got super over it, and it was just to the point where it's like it doesn't even make financial sense to do it. But I think it's cool. It's really cool to see people comment and say like I help them in any way with their swap or kind of inspire them to also work on their car. So I don't know. It's a give and take for me. I think it was definitely worth it, kind of in the position that I am. But from like a different standpoint, maybe not. I don't know. It kind of really depends on what your goals are with the car. Do you also make videos? Do you like working on your car? A lot of variables. I would say let's talk about the hardest and the easiest part of doing the swap. Probably the hardest was the fact that I didn't do it obviously on a lift. I did it on the ground for jacks, and probably getting the transmission out and in. It was a bit sketchy. I didn't record the actual part of us. What we had to do is put the transmission on a piece of cardboard and slide it in there, and then also getting it up. Actually, no, that was for sure the hardest, because then what we had to do is once we had the 6-speed under there, because it's so long, heavy, wide, we had to get 2 jacks, jack it up, put a brick under, pull it out, teeter-totter it, put another brick, and it was just like, it was such a mess. It took us, I think, 11 hours to get 5-speed out and then 6-speed in, and that was also because we had to drive 2 hours away to go get some flywheel bolts. But okay, let's just say 8 hours for 5-speed out and then the 6-speed in, everything connected, the linkage itself, take off the flywheel, put on the flywheel, pressure plate, clutch, all that stuff. That was definitely probably the hardest. And the easiest, I mean, maybe like pulling off the drive shaft or something. It's like 4 bolts and it slides out of the back of the transmission. Or maybe like bolting on the calipers. I don't know. I mean, I can't really think of like the easiest part. All of it was hard in its own way for sure. But definitely worth it, I think. I hope. Fucking moving in, you know, moving on in. Another thing to touch on that I really, really do like, and I found out pretty recently, is the shifter linkage itself is completely different. The mechanisms from an STI to a WX are completely different. That's why an STI feels a lot notchier than the 5-speed. You can freaking hear it. It feels a lot better in the hand. It's a lot more satisfying to actually shift the gears in the 6-speed, I'm not gonna lie. And also I think it's pretty cool, the reverse lockout. It's pretty satisfying to do that as well. So definitely the whole feel of it, even like my clutch pedal feel, although yes, I do have an upgraded clutch. It feels really good, feels really responsive, feels really strong, and I can definitely see why a lot of people like driving the STI 6-speed for that reason. But a lot of people were also saying that they don't like it because you have to shift so many times. I don't think I'm to that point yet. Like I said, I've only driven it for 100 miles. Maybe it will get annoying eventually. But so far, so good. So I would say my favorite thing so far, or at least what I fell in love with the most, is it's pretty simple. It was actually it was definitely the cheapest of the swap, like 200 bucks. This right here, ready? I just wanted my gauges to sweep.
Oh my god, that's it?
Isn't that satisfying? It's kind of satisfying.
What is that supposed to be?
This is supposed to be oil pressure, which is very important, and it's not hooked up. So like, if someone's gonna talk shit about it, I swear to God, I wired it up and it just didn't. It didn't want to work. It just didn't want to work. Like, I don't know what I'm doing apparently.
Wait, so that's your favorite thing?
Do I swear to God?
Is the swipe?
I almost looked up how to get like a gauge sweep on the WX cluster, but then I was like, you know what, I might as well get that. I'm not joking. Like nighttime, like it's badass. Like it's sick. Anyway, that's probably my favorite. And then my least favorite.
God, how high it is right now.
How high it is? Yeah, maybe like how high it is, and also the fact the STI transmission sits back a little bit farther as far as the linkage goes. So this thing that everyone freaking loves, this is made for exactly my old shifter setup for the 5-speed. So now that it sits back a little farther, you'll see when I shift, it's kind of annoying. It will tap the carbon little right here. So they make another one for the 6-speed exactly. So this whole square cutout will be a little bit farther back just because of how far back it sits. So it looks kind of weird when it's in neutral because it looks so far back compared to where this is cut. So that's probably like the least favorite. Am I just live again?
Yeah.
Just live again. What else did we talk about? Like what would you want to know? I don't know. I feel like I kind of covered like most of the questions. Like, is it worth it? Why didn't you buy an STI?
I guess top 3 things why you would want to swap an STI transmission. Like, why did you do it? What's your number 1 reason you did it?
Why did I do it? I did it
to fit these wheels. To fit.
Okay. Legitimately, I wanted 5x100 or 5x100. I wanted to get rid of 5x100 bolt pattern for the hubs. I wanted the 5x114. I wanted the front and rear Brembos. I wanted to powder coat them, so that was another reason why. I bought these wheels in 5x114, so I wanted to obviously put them on. A main reason why I spent so much money on these wheels and this bolt pattern was to motivate me to finish the swap. And if you guys didn't know, 5x100, it's pretty rare to find wheels for like the GD Subaru that fit really well. My AMEs were like pretty rare to find. That's like definitely another reason. And then on top of that, I do eventually want to get more power in my car, and I knew the 5-speed was definitely the weakest point at that point. Now that the engine is built, it's ready for like 600-700. You know, the transmission was next, and I've always wanted to do it. It's been like 4 years with this 5-speed, and it's lasted me a long time. I think it was just time to upgrade. That's pretty much it. It was definitely a lot more expensive than I thought. Like, putting that out there, 150 times more expensive than I thought. Like, no joke. Christ. It's like, it's bad. But I'm happy with it. I'm definitely happy with it. I don't regret it.
Ready?
It's so awkward.
There's so many people, yeah.
No, what was weird is
you still get shy after 4 years?
4 years later, and it's still awkward filming. It's not like very, very awkward, but like you do the look around, you know?
Yeah.
You always do the look.
Yeah.
Who's filming, you know? Okay, so I think we're gonna go ahead and end the video here. I hope I answered a lot of you guys' questions on the swap and kind of the whole money, how does it feel, is it worth it, yada yada. I think we covered a lot of the good stuff. I will do an update eventually when the clutch is broken in. We start doing some polls, see if it's really, really faster or not. So I think that's gonna be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.